What happens when a Texas lawmaker walks onto CNN and flips the script live on air? He didn't just survive the interview, he humiliated the host with facts so sharp they had to fact-check him in real time, and still lost. You've never seen Kaitlan Collins this cornered.
With other states, Democrat-run states, changing this in the middle of the decade as well?
Well, it's their prerogative to do it, but I mean, I do have to point out that I don't know of just about any major media, CNN included, that dragged Governor Pritzker on TV and asked him to justify the gerrymandering in his state, or California, where I'm looking at right now. Republicans have 40% of the vote in California, but they only give 17% of their seats to Republicans. Same thing in New York.
Well,
I mean, these are more gerrymandered than anything we're contemplating down here in the state of Texas. And quite frankly, what we're talking about doing is legal, it's constitutional, it's permissible, we should do it.
Well, what you're saying is it's bad when Democrats are gerrymandering. That's obviously what Republicans are being accused of doing. But when you say, that no one's covered it, I mean, CNN certainly covered it. I heard you say this earlier, so I looked this up. We've written many articles about it, and also it's been talked about on TV. Listen to this.
In states, though, like Illinois, Oregon, Maryland, Democrats are also engaged in gerrymandering congressional districts.
And as a result, Democrats have really tried to put Republicans in difficult places, particularly in downstate Illinois.
One possible reason for Kinzinger's decision, his Illinois district is being redrawn.
So I just want to be clear. We have covered it when Democrats gerrymander as well, sir.
Well, Caitlin, I know, I got to tell you, I'm incredibly flattered the amount of time seeing.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're diving into the raw, unfiltered reality of a Texas state rep who didn't just show up to CNN, he took the gloves off. Brian Harrison isn't a federal senator, but he just forced Kaitlan Collins and her network to fact-check him live, and still lose the argument. When your logic crushes the script they're used to, even the media's armor starts to crack.
They must have spent fact-checking what I said earlier today to come up with those clips. But if those are the best clips you can find, then my point stand, I was proven correct, because at no point was he asked to justify those maps. But here's the point. It wasn't that I was saying good, bad, right, or wrong, whether they could or should or shouldn't. The point is, what we're talking about in the state of Texas is something that is constitutional. It's legal. The Supreme Court has said we can do things like this. And my main criticism of the liberal Democrat governors in California, New York, Illinois, and other places isn't so much what the weighing in on the merits of their maps.
All right, guys. Now we're getting into the real heat. Texas redistricting. Brian Harrison lays out the numbers with surgical precision, showing how the Voting Rights Act reshaped districts and how Republicans used it by the book. It's not just about drawing lines on a map, it's about who gets power and who gets sidelined. And when facts are this sharp, spin doesn't stand a chance.
It's the rank hypocrisy and the fake outrage. These Democrats, my Democrat colleagues that fled the state to go hide behind Governor Pritzker, they're not mad that states are engaging in redistricting to maximize partisan political advantage. What they're mad about, but they won't say it, they're mad that a Republican state is stepping up and doing it. That's the real problem, and that's the hypocrisy that I'm trying to point out here.
Why is it your responsibility as a state representative to make sure Republicans in Washington hold the majority?
Because the hundreds of thousands of Texans I represent, that's exactly what they want. Because they know that the liberal Democrat Party is the party of bigger government, bigger regulations, less freedom, and they want what the Republican Party stands for, which is more limited government, individual freedom, secure borders, elections that are secure. That's what my voters sent me to Austin to do, and it's what I'm committed to doing down here. And then one thing, back to this point of why we're doing it, it's not that we're raising the stakes and the Democrats are coming back. I got to go back to this. The Democrats have been doing this for over a decade, and Republican states are just now catching up. And just one statistic that you got to let me say here is that 10 years ago, when the Republicans won the U.S. Congress with only 1% of the popular vote, we had a 45% electoral margin in the U.S.
Here's where things shift. While the debate pauses, the message hits deeper. In a system rigged with digital control and economic chaos, real value doesn't come with a password. It's a wake-up call. Gold and silver don't need permission to matter. When the grid shuts down and your funds freeze, what's in your hand may matter more than what's on your screen.
Compared to just last year, where we won with a bigger percentage of the popular vote, right? But only 3 seats, and that's because Democrats have been gerrymandering like crazy for the last 10 years.
But you can't just say it's just Democrats. You can certainly say Democrats do it. You pointed out with Illinois, and that's fair. But also Republicans do it too. And to that point,
well, I can say
a lot of Democrat states, actually, hold on, sir. A lot of Democrat-run states, I looked at this, are constrained by independent, nonpartisan redistricting commissions that were championed by Democrats. So wouldn't that undercut your argument?
Not at all. I mean, of course, the Democrats are the party of giving more power to unelected bureaucrats, but look how that worked out in California. By any objective measure,
there's citizen-run redistricting commissions that are independent.
Citizen-run is the same thing as unelected to me, and quite frankly, California is more gerrymandered.
Now this is where the gloves really come off. Brian dives into how states like New York and California are gaming the system with Democrat-heavy maps. Kathy Hochul becomes the symbol of this deep imbalance. Numbers don't lie. Republican representation is getting strangled, not by votes, but by design. This is hard data meets hard truth, and it cuts through the noise.
Than the maps that we're talking about today in Texas. So I'm not saying that Republicans haven't engaged in partisan redistricting. I'm simply saying that over the last decade, Democrats have done it to a much greater and a much more aggressive rate than Republican states like Texas, and it's time that Texas gets in the game and does its part, and that's what I'm fighting for down here. We've got to get this done.
Your argument is just that you should all do it, not that when Democrats do it, it's bad, so when you do it, it's right?
Well, what I'm saying is if it's what the voters of our state want us to do, which I firmly believe that it is, especially when you look at the fact that they reelected President Trump with a 14-point landslide in Texas, it's something that we are allowed to do. And here's the reality. The Constitution of the United States lets us do this. The Constitution of the great state of Texas lets us do that. And the Supreme Court of the state of the United States has weighed in and said that it is absolutely permissible to draw maps based on maximizing partisan advantage. All the other Democrat states are doing it. The state of Texas should as well.
This is the moment where it stops being a debate and starts sounding like a warning. Brian's not just analyzing, he's sounding the alarm. He sees a country sliding fast toward political collapse, with no off-ramp in sight. When intellect meets ideology on a collision course, the stakes go beyond red and blue. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.